Well, and there we have it. Keith, we are in this third weekend of March, I think, and we are 21 degrees above our average for
Okay.
what the weather is normally today. So we took full advantage of it, Keith.
I love it. I love it. 63 right now. Well, slight winds going on. Partly cloudy. A good sign. You know what I heard and saw? The weed eaters today. That's a good sign.
There we
Spring.
go.
We're getting close. We're getting close. The turf course is greening up. We're not that far away. I know we're going to take advantage of this warm weather today. Next couple days,
Not so
early part of
much.
next week
Yeah.
is going to be a little bit chilly. But you know what? That's March here
You know
in
what?
the Mid Atlantic.
This is known as the fake spring. This is the fake spring that we're on, and again, fully taking advantage of it. Why don't
Yeah.
you two come on down here to Laurel Park? It's going to be a glorious day out today. Let's start this early pick 5 with this claiming 12-5, going at 2 turns on the dirt for the 3-year-old, scratching the 1, dashing Artanian. Favoritism is now on the 3, but Keith, you have the number 6. Tub Tim Siam for Corrales. Mana gets the call, looking for the first win amongst winners.
That is a tongue twister, no doubt about it. We had this one last time, I believe, at 4-1. Off a little bit of a trouble trip for the maiden 24. Dropped down and got it done. Going out to 2 turns. We're back at 2 turns today. This horse was really eager into the race with that clean break last time, Callie. Stalked, relaxed 4 wide, and when the jock said, "Let's go," I tell you what, really responded to draw off by 6.5. Increase in the buyer. You've got Mana. Let's look at this rider here. The last 30 days, 32% strike rate for Raul Mena with an ROI of 536. So if you're riding that little bandwagon, you are making some money.
Yeah.
I think faced the right kind. Even 2 back under the overpass, came back to run a good number. Magical Monarch could be the main speed threat. Going to take play here and come down due to the scratch of the 1. I think this is a horse to catch. Lasix going on after a couple wins at 2 turns. Interesting little move, though. Just like Nest form, just holds the level right back at you with the attack move. Interesting little stat, though. He's 1 for 15 first Lasix off of a win.
Okay.
If we're trying to find a way to beat what I think could be
Fair.
the favorite, there's
Fair.
your shot. But I think Ascendance has gotten to the 4-horse, has gone from sprint to route 1 before going the 2 turns. Number steadily increasing. I think the races has just gotten away from him the last couple. This field, he'll be able to lay a little bit closer and make that move. I'm hoping Foolproof can maybe press Magical Monarch in here. I worry about this 3-horse. If he clears, he could be gone. But improving horse with Corrales here in Mana to Tipsy M.
Race number 2 starts Keith Feastel's early pick 4. Let's go ahead, Keith. Take a look
Okay.
at your ticket. Ooh, just like mine, no singles today.
Yeah, no singles. Again,
It's not a day for it.
it's not but it's not a day really that I could reach out and get you a big price. Heck, I think my value plays like 7-2 or 4-1 anyhow. But it's a $16 ticket to get your week started. We've been knocking on the door at some good ones here. 1-4 Casino Tricks and the 4 Guapo again in race 2 to get you started. 2 deep again in race 3. Goodbye Note, Brady Bear. Race 4, the 2 and the 5. Then come Morning, Never Done. I mean, these are not real prices. So hence 16. If we can turn 16 into 80, 100, I'm going to be happy here
Sure.
and wrap it up. The 5th. Interesting little race. 1, 2, 3, 5. Even Gold Rush Hottie, possibly toss in. It gets the blinkers on with Scratch the other day to go here. But we'll settle with this ticket as your starter, $16.
And there we have it.
Uh-huh.
Let's dive in. Again, a sensible ticket for
Yeah.
today, Keith. Let's talk about that first leg in that claiming 12-5. Never win 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 4 on top. Guapo, again, you just mentioned when talking about your ticket. Rudy Sanchez Solomon, another Raul ride.
Yeah, he's and Solomon's been okay here with these dirt sprints on a 50% drop of recent note, 23%. Second blinkers, a little bit more speed, extended that speed a little bit more last time on the drop. I've chased this guy a couple times. I think today he can clear off and dictate on the plunge here, down a level. Right to the front, Casino Tricks, video spotlight horse for you. They took the blinkers off last time, did Hugh McMahon, and we had a little different Casino Tricks. Shorter field, only had the best 4 others. Broke just a tad slow, but was able to kind of rush up between horses. Got away with, a little bit of a softer quarter half, 23-1, 47-3, and He had been a horse that had been kind of making moves and fading a little bit. He met the challenge at Guaponess and next out winner with a buyer of 70 at Parks for Jamie Ness and said, see you later. Really responds. I'm just a little concerned. Again, right back at you. A horse that looked like this was the trigger, the blinkers off.
Yep.
Why no raise, holds the level, looking for another win here. Hugh McMahon in the last 30 days, 24% with a positive ROI. These two look like the controlling speed of the race.
Right.
If they don't get too crazy and get engaged early, I think one of these two will get it done in race 2.
4137 for Keith Fusel there in race number 2. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming 45. Interesting one at that, going 2 turns around the track here for these 3-year-olds. Scratch in the 6, bottomless refill. Keith, you go with the number 3, Brady Bear, Brittany Russell, and Sheldon Russell. Just first time out after a little bit of time in between races last time.
And go second time route, which is a key. Here's a stat to throw at you. Last 3 years on the dirt, 12 for 23, 52%, 16 for 23 in the money. Maidens, second time going long. You're getting that today. Just got hounded by a sharp hammy horse and Celtic Contender last time out. Gave way ever so grudgingly. I know beaten 12. That horse ran a 78 buyer, a strong number for these 3-year-olds. Comes back, second Lasix, second route. I believe he's the speed of the speed. I expect a little bit more improvement here. Second time off the bench. Brady Bear, the one to control things up top. A goodbye note, made an early kind of brush into a slower flow, got the lead just to fade a little bit late. This guy has improved for Hammy Smith. Hammy, last 30 days, it's kind of coming to fruition now for him. He's 25% with a 232 ROI. I think they're starting to see the talent, the goodbye note we thought that this horse had. He stalks Brady Bear, they engage. Looking for somebody off the pace. Let's take a look at your 4-horse real quick. Albert Finnegan. We've got a video of this one, correct?
Right. Keith, just wanted to touch. There little bit of just well, more of that video, if you saw this horse load and the time had just got bajiggity. It just right before those gates open, and I wish we would have seen before the gates actually open. But you can see to the knees, really almost down to the hocks on the hind end for that one. Yeah, and then, of course, I'm not sure where we're going with the rest of this, but yes, just rough go in the beginning, and you have to look at that and hope for better, especially after that performance 2 back going a 1 turn here.
He returns as a first-time gelding. That wasn't on the initial cut, but I think we've got that right. Albert Finnegan, a first-time gelding, and his other races aren't terrible. You know, he's shown some willingness, some late life out of a mare that was a winner, no doubt about it. Albert Finnegan to improve with a cleaner break today. Glass of Courage, another video spotlight. I think this guy, they figured out he wants to probably go a little bit longer. Tough break last time. Didn't break the sharpest, then got kind of pinched back in those opening strides. Even a little bit of a brush for Glass of Courage. Lopez put this one under a ride early. He just isn't that kind of a sharp moving horse.
Right.
He's a grinder. I think he's going to appreciate moving back out to the 2 turns. His best number came at this distance behind the next out winner. Showed willingness in this sprint. Draws well to the inside. You got Barbosa today. And J.B. Jones, another one underneath, I think, ran well after a little bit of a bobble and a bump at the break last time. Got the beneficial trip up that inside.
Right.
He's a little bit sprinty lean on that bottom side, so Forrest did everything she could to get everything out of him last time. HK Caramano's got to do the same thing, picks up the mount here on Davy Jones.
3-1, 4-2 for Keith Fusel in race number 3. Race number 4 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's take a quick look at my ticket. Also, no singles for me, $28.80. Again, on a day like today, you can't be throwing too many prices out. But race number 7, what I find interesting about this whole card is that race number 6, and we'll get to this one, a lot of scratches, but still a very, very interesting race there in race number 6. I could have gone one more wider on that field, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But like I said, $28.80 ticket. But let's get back to the race that does begin that Rainbow Pick 6, claiming 12.5 for the 4-year-olds, which have never won 3, going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the girls. Keith, you have the number 5 on top. Let's go ahead and take a look at Never Done from that effort last time out. Of course, in the barn here.
Yeah, she's for Phil Capuano. She's done the dirty work kind of in her last 2 races, Callie. She's chased these paces. She's made moves into them. Still giving willingness to the wire, just not quite getting it done. You have to go back 4 races where she got through the 2 in life condition. Also in this race, you're going to see a late brush outside, Then Come Morning, who kind of got a little bit goofy, leaving like mid-turn, drifted way wide, was finally straight and switched over that left lead late to close up. These look like the 2 I think have Never Done. Clears early. It's her race. Definitely, I think she's going to dictate control and get it done. Then Come Morning, her better races, they're very close, these 2. So I think this inside post might put her a little closer as well. 5-2-2-5 here for me. Early Rose, I think, bounces back and improves off of that 36 buyer last time out. No real excuses. Had position inside, just didn't kick on. But I think she's ready to bounce back to one of her better efforts.
Race number 5 is a maiden special weight, going 7 furlongs on the dirt, which makes it interesting for these 4- and 5-year-old girls. Keith, you and I both land on the number 1. This also starts the late pick 5. Luke Warren, Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell on the inside, going 7 furlongs, but a nice gate work leading up to it.
Yeah. Midnight Lutz, 11% first time out. Okay. Bottom side, Mare was 3rd in debut. This is a half to a graded winner, though. A grade 2 winner in Steel Sunshine. Riley G is going to take a ton of play. Has been beaten favorable at 4 times below the even money. She's okay at 7 furlongs, Brittany, with her first. It's a smaller sample, and you talk about a tricky distance to get it done first out. Right. But she's 3 for 11, 27%, 6 for 11, the money with these 3-year-olds and up maidens going 7/8. Take the shot there, play the percentages. Riley G, obviously, I think that break just killed her last time, but why move to Penn? What do they really think of this filly? They keep her here in the maiden special weight. The 2-back try was good. I mean, it was still a little regression off the number out in California, but Flower Dew, the horse that beat her, came back to run an improved number in there. So one of these 2, Dark Princess, is maybe that horse to make that run fresh off the pace as well. Just chased too quick of a flow last time out at Saratoga. Been freshened up, retooled. The 2-back try was all right. I liked how the jock, after this horse stumbled pretty bad, recovered or took the rating and made a pretty decent run before flattening ever so late. So looking for things to heat up. I think you'll see Rodriguez try to rate this filly off the pace and make a move into it at 7/8.
There we have it. 1, 2, 5, 3 for Keith Fusel there in race at number 5. And we'll be right back after this commercial break for the rest of Friday's card.
And they're off.
And race number 6, the middle of the card here. Interesting allowance optional 55, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Scratches in the 3, 4, 7, and 9.
Yeah.
So a lot of heavy hitters, a couple of them running in stakes tomorrow.
Yes.
But still makes it an interesting race here, Keith. Let's talk about your top selection in the number 2, Our Nation on Parade. Of course, finding a new career as a sprinter off of timing, a win 2-back, going 3/4 of a distance last time out. Just got a little bit unlucky, a little bit wide.
Yeah, one off the bench at 10-1. What a generous price that was that day. I still can't believe it. And it might have just, this guy likes to sprint. Back in his early part of his career, he was a good sprinter. So I've got no problem with that. There's flow still in here. I just think maybe he ran back a little too quick last time, and he's given a little bit more time in between races here. Caught wide, maybe up a little closer. It just was flat. You're going to see speed again here today. I think No Sense, who draws the rail again, has got to be forward, along with Swill, Karen's Notion, and Bump and Run. So Our Nation on Parade would not surprise to see the 7-year-old kind of get back to winning ways, like he did 2 back off a little bit of a break and roll by that contested pace, say mid-stretch, because he made that big move 2 back into the flow. It didn't look like he was going to kind of flat. He stayed there, he battled, and he kicked away. He's a pro, this guy.
He was the best horse in that
yeah,
race.
He was. He was back on Lasix that day. Yeah, would I wish a little bit more speed stayed on? Yes, but I think he can still kind of get back to that number off a little bit of a bounce last time out.
He's very manageable with this field here today. The number 6, 3's over Deuces, Gary Cap, Tori Alba with the weight off, just was denied last time out last month.
Yeah, Tori Alba riding well. I had a little stat from the first race. Almost to go back to it, 29% over the last 10, 12 days, 360 ROI. Like the way he's riding. 3's over Deuces, another consummate kind of pro, 9 years old and still bringing in at 83, kind of moving back. He's got enough to hedge back a little bit and get back a little bit higher. Bump, bobbled, in tight 8, game. I mean, every excuse lies. It just gets beat. Yes, he was beaten by Our Nation Prairie. Down inside, it just didn't quite kick on. He'll like what's going on up in front. I think Gary Cap, I'm going to trust a high percentage barn. Keep these horses going a long time. Him to make that move into the pace. No Sense I like as well. He's just drawn this rail 3 times in a row now.
Exactly.
But he's a fighter.
Yes, he is.
He's back a furlong today. Back on Lasix. I think everything is kind of working positive for him. He moves into it, and he'll stay around. Bump and Run's a question mark horse for me. Coming in sharp couple races. The last 2 at Parks really, really good.
Right.
Freshened up a little bit. Barnes been doing well, but this is the real acid test for him. He has not faced this caliber of horse just yet. We'll see. The younger guy here, 4-year-olds against some of these older ones.
There we go. We'll find out. We'll find out in race number 6, of course, starting that late pick 4 as well. 2, 6, 110 for Keith Few still there. Race number 7 is a maiden claiming 45. 6 furlongs on the dirt this time instead of 7 for these 3-year-old fillies. Scratch in the 3, Lady Limoncello. Scratch in the 5, Faith and Liberty. You go with the number 8 on the outside, Overly Dramatic in the barn of Brittany Russell. Blinkers on as well as Sheldon Russell stays on.
Yeah, I think one of these, the firsters is going to have to bring it. They, this is what they can do. Overly Dramatic, Rapoli, Brittany Russell. This filly ran okay in debut, off at even money. Didn't get away the cleanest. Was caught in between horses into the turn. Wasn't really comfortable. Got outside. Looked like she was going to fire. She just kind of fizzled, ran even. She wasn't the smoothest of kind of goers in that race, watching her action a little bit wide and, wing a little bit. So this is what they do. They try it on the turf, and definitely I thought the turf might have been the right thing because you go back into family, some strong turf there. But catches a field here with the blinkers going on, a shorter field outside, a break, and she'll probably, I would think, go right to the front, if not win it from just off of it, at an awfully short price. One of these firsters has to be really good.
There we go.
Yep.
Pretty quick and to the point there. 8-4-7-1 for Keith there in race number 7. An allowance going 2 turns around the track is race number 8 for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you're excited about this one. Let's get right to it. Jolly by golly, Hammy Smith, J-Ron Barbosa.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that win last time out.
For the 7, 8, 9 racing stable, Jolly by golly looking to make it 3 in a row. And, man, this guy's going really good. He ran exceptional 2 races back, caught in between horses a long way, dueling and going away. On February the 10th, got the perfect setup, relaxed off the duel, loved what he saw up in front, and when he goes on the attack, he does it comfortably. Well within himself. He's going to go ahead and separate, win by 5 3/4. Look, Jock hasn't even asked yet at the 1-turn mile. Here we go, coming to some pressure here.
I think the Jock was confident. He said, I better just start doing something for
a
show.
And Captain Quint makes a run at him. Nice horse, Captain Quint, 78 winning next time out in the state bred a other than. And here's a little stat here. They've got Jolly by golly figured out. I love the draw here with his positional speed and the staying power. Hammy, we used the stat a while back and we called it with a price. We're going to try to come back again. Remember, it was the Sheldon Russell horse.
Yes.
I should remember the name of the horse. 6 for 18, 33%, 12 for 18 of the money. Claiming to allowance. ROI 619. This is a decent field, no doubt about it. You've got Capone coming in for Dutrow, margin of error, bringing to some outside speed. I like Jolly by golly to kind of maybe just nurse up right behind him, relax just like he did. 2 turns doesn't scare me here for this guy.
There we go. And as you mentioned, under the radar, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, another one with a similar style, but just not as much of a not as much of a pop at the end as your top selection.
Yeah, it's just, caught a little wide last time. Didn't break the sharpest. Hey Chief came back, got that rail running win next time out. But he's knocking on the door, this guy. Again, there's going to be enough speed in here where he'll relax a little bit further back. He'll make the progression into it today for Ness and Rodriguez.
And the 7 and the 5 to wrap things up with, of course, margin of error, as you mentioned, and Crossland there for race number 8, 1275 for Keith Fustel. And to wrap things up here for Friday's card is claiming 8,000, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 4 and up. Big scratch in the 6. Irish Lace was my top selection. But Keith, we've got to readjust, and we certainly can do that. You go with Tweetaway Robin for Pedro Nazario, J-Ron Barbosa as your top selection.
Yeah, 7-year-old mare. I've always liked this. 11-time winner out of 51 starts. She kind of got back to her little habits that she got back to last time. Tossed the head at the start, 6 wide. When she gets in the gate or gets around the gate, she can get a little bit goofy. If she's got her mind straight and breaks, first 10 strides are going to be key for her in here, because I think this is the field where if she breaks cleanly, she'll just draft up right behind horses like possibly Matula, Lunita, No More Mass. They're the ones that really seriously want to be forward, but she can exude that back class and stalk and pounce in the nightcap.
Yep, of course. And then the number 1 on the inside, Have Courage. Elliott Sullivan, Jamie Rodriguez sticks around for the last here, hoping from a bounce back. Obviously, coming down from that allowance is going to be helping things.
Didn't run bad last time out. Improved number, 11 points on the buyer scale from going from that nickel condition up to the first level allowance. The race didn't come back super fast, but hey, improved number and a barn that hits 23% second off the claim on the dirt over the last few years. She's got some speed in front of her. I like the 1 or the 3 to run them down. Fancy Princess, that chaser, and kind of stays around.
Okay, there we have it. 3174 for race at number 9 to wrap things up. Keith, let's talk about your value play of the day. Just take a little bit of rewind. And Jolly by Golly for Hammy Smith. J-Ron Barbosa with that nice ROI from claiming to allowance.
Yeah, I'm hoping, the money just pours in, possibly on Capone coming in from New York for Dutch. They see some of those gaudy numbers on the page. But this horse, we showed the stat, inside position, stalks and pounces, just in razor sharp form, and I like the spacing of the races, what they've done, how they've handled Jolly by Golly.
And there we have it. We are going to go to David Rodman for some more changes and scratches here. Enjoy being outside and come here and check out Laurel Park on this lovely March day.
Good luck, everybody.